Okay, here we are on the pages section of the Briswest Renovations website. You can see we're on pages. We've got the menu highlighted, title at the top says pages, and here is the names of all of the Briswest Renovations pages. So you can see about bathroom projects, etc. So the biggest difference between Briswest Renovations and perhaps normal websites is that our individual projects are in fact website pages, not posts. In the post section here, we do have blogs for Briswest Renovations, but they are only added when Rebecca has completed her writing activities for blogs. So the reason why we're on pages is we want them to be visually matching and appealing, which is a lot better than a blog post or a news post. And we can duplicate these super easily for ourselves. So that's a big bonus when we've got loads of projects that we want to publish on a regular basis. You can see all these ones starting with the word bathrooms. They're all the bathrooms projects. And down here you can see kitchen and into the next page is continuing on. So when we want to add a new one, similarly to what we would do with a post or a news item, is we click the add new button on pages. So we click the add new, and we do need to have a couple of things ready. And while that's loading, I'll talk about those. We've got our Word document with the blog that, or the project notes that Rebecca's written. We've got photos in from Rebecca, and because they'll be added to the page. But effectively, we don't have to do much more than that at this point in time to get the page going, because we're going to duplicate a page that has got the layout already built on the page for us. And this is one of those things about Divi that makes our life a lot easier. There's obviously something wrong with the internet because we're going super slow. So I'm just going to pause that recording until that is finished. Okay, so here's our page, and you can see that we've got a few basic elements here that we need to address before we can duplicate the rest of the page. So I've got open our Word document, which Rebecca has titled Stunning Country Home for this particular project. So I'm going to just paste that from her document, but this is going to be a kitchen project. So I'm going to put kitchen. And so I'm going to get rid of the word home because we don't need that for this title. And I'm just going to replace it with the word style because we do have, a couple of different rooms in this. So stunning country style, but we want the word kitchen at the front. And so keeping that in mind, we're going to eventually use the Divi Builder, which is here, that purple button on screen. But there are other elements here that we can do to set up SEO from the get-go, but I'm going to do a different video about that so that we can just concentrate on duplicating the page for the moment. So I'm going to click the Use Divi Builder, which will open on screen a couple of different options for what we can do to build a page within our website. And we're going to choose the green button, which says Clone Existing Page. And this is where the easy magic happens. Because I've got a kitchen, I'm going to go and choose the Hamptons inspired page that we've got here. So I'm literally just going to click on it, and then the bottom of that, use this layout. All the kitchen layouts are the same, so it actually doesn't matter which kitchen that you choose to start with. But you can see what's happened is here is that Hamptons page. And so we need to replace all of the things with the new project. So you can see here we've got the photos, and we've got the reno details there, and effectively all that Word document project notes is all pasted there as well. And then the testimonial that was already existing, which is from the Ashgrove. This is perhaps one of those things we could swap out some of those new testimonials that we've found over time. And then this is just standard stuff at the bottom. We don't need to worry about it all. So we cruise back up to the top. We are going to have to decide which image is going to go at the banner in the top, but that can go through the process of uploading and editing photos as we cruise along. So just going back to what we just copied and pasted from her Word document, which is the Stunning Country Home. One of the things that's happened in the last 12 months with Briswest is that their branding has been updated, which means that when we come and post new things, we've sometimes got the old navy color, and that all needs to be this purple color. So when I pasted that text just there, I saw that it's actually the old navy blue color. So I need to go and pay attention to that. And that's something that was going to be an ongoing thing, because unfortunately, it's just like a historical issue across the entire site. And that change from navy to purple is significant. So I've gone to click into the text settings, and then into the, and I initially went into the paragraph text to see that it was heading 1, just here on screen. And that's because in the design tab, the next one along, I need to know which heading number I am going to edit. So I've clicked on heading 1 to make sure I'm changing that. And this is that navy color. We want to go and change it to the navy color. So effectively over time, we're going to replace all navy with purple. So a green tick out of that. So it's saved. And I'm going to do the same thing here on this paragraph, which is just the normal paragraph, which is good. And update that to the purple. Now, Rebecca hasn't actually provided this sentence to us. It's something that over time I've ended up having to create myself. So we'll come back to that, but it is something to remember. For this project, I'm going to just literally copy and paste all the text. But as I've done that, I can actually see that she's got errors in her spelling. So for example, horizontally is spelt wrong. So I'm going to edit that. And I'm going to check for some of these suggestions. So we've got housewarming as 2 words, but Google says that it's 1. So I'm going to just click and accept Google's request for adding hyphens where we should, and change the double, what are those things called? The inverted commas to what they should be as a preference to Google. So that one was, was backwards. So there's a few things that are definitely kind of need some attention in this document. I mean, that's pretty common, but a lot of these red things, they're actually like brands. So, there's the name of the Dulux paint, that is what it is. Whether it's spelt right or wrong doesn't matter. Briswest always comes up as a spelling error. We know that that's right. But there's things like here, this terrazzo, I wouldn't have a clue if that's right or wrong. So I'm just going to accept that she has done that right. And if it's wrong, we'll pick it up later like we have done other times. So gone through, done all that. I'm going to just copy that text and go back into the website document, and I'm going to select all of this paragraph, right click and paste as plain text. So it literally is replacing it over the top of the old text all the way down. And I'm just going to green tick that. Scroll back up to the top. Now, the renovation details on this project, which is Rebecca's next door neighbour in particular, we've got the kitchen, we've got main bathroom and the laundry. We know that. And the location is actually Upper Brookfield. We happen to know where Rebecca lives. So that's replaced. And now all these photos need to be replaced. So does the banner and this one sentence. Now I've got her other text in. I'm just going to have a quick peruse of what it says. And generally the opening couple of sentences is where I steal the information from. It's not like it's rocket science. But we want to incorporate her wording of her title, as well as what the project was. A lot of times this is a bit too fluffy from Rebecca, which is also why I will have edited what she's provided in the past. But it's honestly, it's not a massive deal to us. This is not the search engine optimization and stuff that we need to worry about too much. But what we put here is what we put on the project listing page. So that's about the only reason why I want you to make sure it makes sense at least and sounds interesting for someone to click through and read it. So interesting here, new chapter of retirement, semi-rural living. So I'm going to copy that sentence and paste it in here, and then I'm going to edit it in situ. So I've just right-clicked and paste as plain text, which means it keeps the settings. And I'm going to put looking for a new lifestyle, semi-rural living in Brookfield. Clients. Renovated their home for the new chapter of retirement using stunning country styling, which is the words that we've trying to incorporate. So I'm going to actually eventually copy that exact same sentence onto the project page, and that's why, you know, it's important this is done before we finish this page. Now we can see here we've got these 4 sets of photos. Special coding tells us that we should be doing 3 by 3, but I need to pick up the coding from another page before I can do that. For now, we want to work with our photos, and you can see as I mouse roll over these photos, it's got Brookfield kitchen renovation. Now that means that these photos have got the suburb added, which is great. We want to do that with our photos before we get them into the system as well. And we also want to make sure that we don't have any clients' names or too revealing information like the actual exact address. For now, I'm just going to save the draft here though, just because I've done a bit of work. So I want to make sure it saves so we don't have any website internet issues. And I'm going to go into the folder of this house. We've got the 3 folders because this is a multi-project house. But I need to make sure that all the kitchen photos are actually on this page. So whilst I am looking at them at the moment and none of them have been renamed. So as I'm in my Word Explorer, it's called Windows Explorer, I'm going to select all and I'm going to rename them as Upper Brookfield, and I'm going to put Country Kitchen. Upper Brookfield Country Kitchen is a little bit different to maybe what we would do with the word kitchen first, but we've already got some photos in there, you know, with Brookfield Kitchen. So some differentiation isn't going to do anything bad for us. And I can see also that most of them are quite vertical in nature. So that means that me thinking about what the banner image at the top is going to be, I might actually need to edit one of them, especially for that banner, because they're vertical. And this is one of the things, I guess, that, you know, we think about training with Rebecca. We need to have that covered off. So I'm going to go into, I'll just do that slowly, into the settings cog here. So that you can see the grey box around the outside of the whole module. That's the whole gallery there. When I click on the settings, here are those images over on the right, and they're obviously all the Hamptons ones. So we can just delete all of them here out of here. We don't need any of them because we'll add new ones. And you can see here that the gallery is blank and it's the website's just picking up the most recent images. So we want to add the gallery images. And so we can click onto the upload in the media, select our files, go into the folder that we need, which is here. And then we've got all the kitchen photos sitting there, and we've got heaps, absolutely heaps. So for this, we don't need those photos with the people in it. Those are going to be great for our social media, not the website. So I'm going to immediately ignore the ones with the family, except maybe the one, if we've got, you know, got one of that angle, then of course we would use that. And I can see here we've got one that shows them under bench microwave, and they're all sitting in the dining room. So we'll have to do that one with humans, but the rest doesn't need to be. So I'm just going to, as I cruise through, make sure I've got those key angles. So I've got, this is inside the kitchen. Then we've got the range hood and the cooker and the detail in the corner. I might just, in fact, take the slightly angled version just because it looks a bit more stylish. I'm going to skip that corner because it's got nothing of importance. The double farmhouse sink is pretty important. There's that underbench microwave with people, so we have to take that one. Here is, we can see just almost side by side 2 seating photos. Well, we don't need both of them, so I'm going to take one. Here is all the similar corner view looking out the window with the horses. I'm going to take that because actually that reinforces our country styling. I wouldn't necessarily take that photo. I don't think it's that good, but the horses outside tell us a bit more about the whole setting. Here's that dining room. You can see we've got 2 of those. I'm going to take this one. And here's another one of the farmhouse sink. This one's got the tea towel the same as the other one. I'm just flicking back and forward between those. What makes one of them better? I can't really see the difference, so I'll stick with the one that I've got. And then I'm going to do a bit of a count of how many I've got. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want to take up to 12. So I want to do them in threes. So I can do 9 or I can do 12. So I'm going to now have a look and see what have I not selected that could be added in that isn't too much. And I can see that corner shot that I took that has got the cooker straight on. Well, I'll go and take the cooker straight on as well. And I'll take the corner that I didn't have before because I can. And then now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9. I'm going to just go with that for the moment. Click open and they'll all load in. Now what's happened is they're now in our media folder, and talking about SEO, what we would ideally want to have is our alternate text added. I've already renamed the images. That's great. That means that they're going to be Upper Brookfield Country Kitchen. So I can use, for example, as an alternate text, kitchen renovation Upper Brookfield. And I can have that as the alternative text on every single one of these images once they're finished loading. Reason why I like to do the same alternate text, it's because we're going to copy and paste from one to the other, makes our job easier, but also the keywords are there. Kitchen renovation, that is very important for Briswest Renovations. It's part of our keyword inclusions. I could also have kitchen renovations Brisbane. I could also do kitchen renovation specialist Brisbane, any variations of these words. But because I know what the Upper Brookfield Country Kitchen names for all of these photos are, I'm going to choose the kitchen renovations Brisbane for this one. And I'm just going to select all and copy that. And that's been attached to this first photo in the media folder that's highlighted. And I'm just going to go click through all the rest and paste them on. That means that long-term goals, when anyone's Googling kitchen renovation Brisbane, these photos are all going to show up on Google image searching. So they are all done and they're all still ticked and highlighted. So I'm going to click the select button and now it's going to process into our gallery here. This gallery does change the order of all the photos each time you come through. So you can see now, because I don't have that coding, I've got 2 lines of 4 and then the 9th one hanging over. And this is where the coding's supposed to be added, or why the coding's supposed to be added, because Rebecca's visual presentation request is to have 3 by 3. That's what she likes. I'm going to just save the changes because that's done for the moment. And then I'm going to come back up here to the top banner and just click onto the settings. I don't know what's happened with the page. I'm going to double check something. There's been a glitch there with the internet. So I'm going to click into that gallery again. This is the reason why we save our work after every major step on a website. Thankfully, all our images are still there. We didn't lose all of that work, but I will click save in just a moment. Make sure that doesn't happen again. I'm going to scroll up and see if any of those photos that we've just uploaded are going to work as a wide image successfully without editing. So in the banner, we're going to click up into the settings on the top left and click on background and into the background image, which is the little icon there. Now, with the Briswest Renovations website, I've got limited modules where I don't need multiples, which is why this is a background image in the blue sized module. So I'm going to click on the settings and I'm going to select the kitchen with the stools, because the stools is pretty much in the middle of the image. I'm going to see how it works. And though I don't get the stools in, on a mobile view it might do, but this looks brilliantly within our template because of that big grey marking in the marble, or whatever the bench top's made out of, which it looks pretty fabulous. So I'm happy with that. We're on a green tick. I'm going to save my work again. And at this point, I can actually publish the page because I've edited everything that I need to, including the little sentence at the top. So I'm going to click publish. And then I'm going to exit the builder. And then I'm going to be ready to start the projects addition to the kitchen projects page. But before I do that, I'm going to check my work. I'm going to click through the galleries, and you can see down here the names of the files, Upper Brookfield Country Kitchen 1. And then they're all the way through, which is great. They all look good on screen. Nothing's pixelated, which means we've done our job there. Close the gallery. If I click this button, return to kitchen projects, it's going to take me where I want to go, which means the button's also working. So just a simple check there. So what I'm going to do here now is show you how to add this new project. So I'm going to enable the visual builder. And I'm literally going to duplicate the last project that was the same one that we need now. So we want the photo to be on the left for this new one. So the Hamptons inspired is the last one. So I'm going to click the duplicate row button. So there's now 2 Hamptons in a row. And then I'm going to click and drag this one up the top. And I'm now going to update this for all the things that I need for our new kitchen project. So I'm going to now open the kitchen projects tab and have it sitting there as a reference point. And I can also open up the kitchen that we've just done, because I know what the address is. So it's kitchen stunning country style. So there it is. And I can immediately copy that text there, go back to the page where we've copied the Hamptons inspired, paste that straight in as plain text over the top, and green tick out. And then I can change the button to stunning country style is going to be the title. New project is this one. So it's the same. But the link, I now need to update to a different page link. So I'll delete that one and then go to the selector for page link. And the right one comes up because it's the last blog that we've just entered, which is great. That's always handy. Same thing here, page link, stunning country style. Now, the difference between a button link and the module is this whole section where all the title and text shows, whereas the button's just the orange. The reason why we do the whole module is on a website or on a mobile, you can have someone have fat fingers and just not be able to get the button. So I just do that as a good habit, and it helps people with fat fingers. And then we'll see here that this is a special sized photo, which is from the collection, but I need to make sure that I've got the right size done and set. And I've already done that in Canva already. And I'm just now going to download that photo from the Canva page, which is the 800 by 706 pixels. And then I'm going to add this into the photo album that we had up and running. So now I can add that photo as a separate photo from what we've already uploaded. And it has got the slightly different name because this has got the Canva file. So I'm going to rename that. Instead of BWI projects page, I'm going to rename it as kitchen renovation. And I'm going to actually call this UBC up at Brookfield. UV country. Doesn't really matter, but you know, all these words just contribute to layers. I'm going to copy my alternate text from the last photo, put it there, and then upload an image. It gets immediately swapped out from the Hamptons one, and that looks really nice on the page. So it's been propped correctly. We've got the lighting, splash of color, lovely timber floors, and that stool all in sight. And also there's a connection between the choice of this photo now and the head banner on the page once we actually click through. So I'm going to save my work. I'm going to exit the visual builder. And then I'm going to press the button that I've just updated to make sure it now goes to the right page, which it does. And then there's the gallery. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the projects and find an older project that has the code from the 3 photos that we need, which is here. And I'm just going to double check I'm not in another builder. I'm going to enable the visual builder here. And we're going to click onto the settings of this gallery. And I'm going to click into advanced, and I'm going to have a look at the coding that I've added. And what I'll do is I'll actually put this into a document for you so that you can copy and paste this, because this is really important about where we make changes within this section. And if you've got it step by step, it's a lot easier to follow. So we'll do it that way. But effectively, we're going to, or I have done previously, is come in here and copy and paste this and then open up the new design after I've closed this out and paste it into the same place into the new project. It's the only way to get the gallery to change from 4 images down to 3. But that is it.